just make a little video on Bot Free Group at the moment.
What for?
Oh, just for social media.
No, I don't want it done, thanks.
Oh, I'm doing it.
So, it's our company and I'm asking you not to do it.
Well, I can see it from the road, so...
Yeah, well, can you not film, please?
Well, I will, but I'll also...
Call the police, because you're not...
Call the police for someone with a camera?
Well, yeah, because you've done it to them over there.
Yes. And I got my drone as well, so we'll be sending the drone over to get some drone footage, so...
You're not doing it?
If you're doing 911, not saying 999, 101, sorry.
999.
999?
Yeah,
what are you going to report? A man with...
Please.
Oh, let me hear this. Man with a camera.
Please. It's harassment.
You've come out and harassed me, I'm not harassing you.
Hi there, and there's just on the industrial estate in Louth, and there's a strange chap walking around filming businesses and says he's sending drones up and taking footage and just, well, being pretty nosy.
The moment the employee sees the auditor, they call 911, calling him strange for photographing storefronts, even though the auditor has clearly stated his intentions and is not concealing anything. Labeling curiosity as nosy does not make it illegal. Taking photos in public is completely legal. Despite this, the workers' immediate reaction wastes police time simply because they disapprove. When officers arrive, they shock everyone by prioritizing feelings over facts, threatening the auditor with baseless accusations even though the law is on his side. This situation exposes a concerning mix of civil rights misunderstanding and an overzealous display of authority at the cost of legal principles.
We've been called about somebody matching your description.
Absolutely, yeah, I'll give him the video. I'm stood there when he called. I think it's this one that called you, wasn't it?
So what's the crack? What's going on?
Just doing a bit of videoing today.
Sorry?
Just doing a bit of videoing today.
Okay, what's the purpose of the video?
My purpose, really.
No. What's the purpose of the video?
Sorry? No. My purpose, really. Thank you.
What is the purpose of the video?
Do I have to answer that question?
Well, yeah, because it may be that you're breaking the law by if you...
Doing what? What law do you think I've broken?
Well, we'll start with GDPR rules.
Okay, that's nothing to do with the police. Is it?
Is it not?
No. And it isn't anyway, because I'm in public, I can film anything I can see in public, can't I?
Yeah, you can film in public, but if you're overflying private premises and videoing stuff that's on there, then that becomes a little bit of an issue.
No, incorrect, officer, I'm sorry.
The officer goes as far as making a far-fetched claim that the auditor has violated GDPR, which the auditor promptly corrects. GDPR regulates how companies handle personal data and does not prevent private individuals from taking photos in public. Despite this clear difference, some officers misuse GDPR as a blanket reason to intervene against lawful photography. Rather than referencing actual laws, the officer leans on legal terminology he clearly doesn't understand, trying to justify an unnecessary interference.
Plane, hot air balloon, glider goes over, they're not allowed to video, is that what you're saying?
Well, aeroplanes won't be able to pick up as much detail as a drone overflying some specific premises.
Small aeroplanes.
What is the purpose behind? What interest do you have in filming?
It's mine. I like industrial estates. So I go to industrial estates making videos of companies I find interesting. Are you recording?
No.
It's flashing. There's a green light flashing.
Yes, it is.
Is that recording?
Flashing red, then I'll be recording.
Right, okay.
The green is not recording, so
right.
What law is
we don't know, you see, so we don't know that. So, but if you are not recording, that's fine. But you would have, one of your procedures you would have broke if you hadn't told me that.
Why is that?
Because you have to inform me. As well, you mentioned GDPR.
I can film anything I want in public. You've just come back.
No, not you. No, you're filming it as a company. You're an officer working for the law. You have to, by GDPR rules, you have to tell me.
Rather than acknowledging his error, the officer replies, "I can film whatever I like in public," trying to catch the auditor off guard, but the plan fails immediately. The auditor calmly explains that, unlike private citizens, officers are required to follow GDPR when using body cameras and must inform people they are being recorded. This interaction exposes a double standard, as some officers question ordinary photography while ignoring their own obligations for transparency and accountability.
Okay. So, what are we going to do about you filming? Because it's clearly causing annoyance to people.
That's not my problem. I'm in a public area filming. I'm not annoying anybody. They're annoying me, to be honest. They're actually annoying me.
Called the police.
And they're annoying me. They come out and annoy me. He did. They annoyed me. I don't report them because I thought, well, just go back to work and leave me to it. So if you think I'm breaking any laws, then please quote the laws I'm breaking. Because I'm not breaking.
When the workers sees the auditor filming storefronts, they immediately call 911, labeling him strange merely for using his camera in public, even though the auditor has been transparent about his intentions from the start. Curiosity is not a crime, and photographing in public is entirely legal. Yet the workers' snap judgment waste police time simply because it makes them uncomfortable. Upon arrival, officers shock everyone by treating feelings as law, with one even absurdly claiming the auditor violated GDPR, which the auditor politely corrects. GDPR regulates how businesses manage private data, not how an individual uses a camera on a sidewalk. Instead of admitting the mistake, the officer claims, "I can film anything I want in public," only to be immediately corrected, as body camera users are actually bound by GDPR's transparency rules requiring them to announce recordings. This encounter reveals a troubling double standard. Officers rush to challenge innocent photographers while ignoring their own accountability obligations. Rather than citing real statutes, they throw out legal jargon they do not understand to justify an unfounded intervention. Ultimately, this situation is not about broken laws but bad policing. The auditor has every right to record, and personal annoyance has no impact on legality. Yet officers often act as enforcers of feelings, stepping in where no crime exists and using discomfort to cover overreach. True law enforcement respects rights first, and anyone in uniform should know better than to blur that line.
You seem a bit annoyed and that you can't get me on anything. That's wrong, isn't it, surely?
It's not the fact that I can't get you on anything, it's just that if you are causing somebody enough annoyance, and they're worried about people's private details being published on the internet and what have you, because there are certain things that are visible from or to your drone camera.
Yeah.
And they are rightly concerned that those will be published on the internet.
Absolutely. Can be concerned. Put them inside. Because anybody, I can go on that public path and fly my drone. I could have done it secretly. I let them know what I'm doing.
Okay. But from their point of view,
yeah,
can you see why it would cause an annoyance if you are entirely in the right and you are exercising your right as a person to do something that they don't want you to do?
Yeah. That's
and
right.
you refuse to stop when you've been asked, even though it's their premises that are affected by your actions.
Well, they said there, we're highly secret, blah, blah, blah. They're a fragrance company. I'm like, highly secret fragrances? Really? You know, people really build themselves up to be bigger than they are, just to try to stop people exercising their God-given right, legal rights in this country. Legal rights in this country.
Too many businesses act as if their own rules override the law, telling people they cannot film on public sidewalks when nothing forbids it. Security guards, managers, and staff often cite GDPR, privacy laws, or company policy, treating these terms as if they were enforceable statutes, when in reality it is about control, not legal authority. Instead of recognizing that anyone can photograph in public, these employees threaten police intervention, wasting law enforcement resources over harmless activity. By highlighting this overreach, the auditor exposes a broader issue. Private entities pretending to hold more power than the law allows, attempting to intimidate curious citizens rather than respecting their rights.
Through anything I can see from public place.
Does it not then become an issue because you can't see it from a public place, because your drone is going into a private place to take these images?
It's flying over in the airspace which is controlled by the Civil Aviation Authority, and I obey all the laws for flying my drone. Civil Aviation Authority, there's no restrictions for flying in this area, on this estate, wherever, so I can fly my drone free will all over this place. I feel you're annoyed. I don't understand. You're not the feelings police. You've got to remember this. You're not the feelings police. You're here to feel.
I'm not the feelings police. I just find it incomprehensible that
But you're like him. It's not up to you to understand what I'm here to do. It's not up to you to understand that, is it? If I'm here and not breaking any law, then basically you need to just walk away and let them know he's not breaking.
It gets wise. The auditor actually has to ask the officer to leave, which should never be necessary. If no crime is occurring, an officer should step back. Yet this one lingers, not out of duty but because he is annoyed. Rather than disengaging professionally, he stays, revealing that his real issue is not the law but the auditor himself. This is a clear example of bad policing. Officers should not enforce emotions or personal discomfort. Their role is to uphold rights, not to remain and assert authority simply because someone makes them uneasy. When law enforcement acts on feelings as a basis for action, everyone's freedom is compromised.
And people's, their clients' details, addresses, and what have you are on display.
Tell me this, officer. do they have the right to tell me to stop videoing?
I think they've probably got the right to stop you from overflying their premises.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're incorrect.
I think they probably do.
I think you're incorrect.
If you look at the contracts when you buy a house, the property you own, then you also own the airspace above it. It doesn't stop at the roof of the house.
Maybe you do. That's all a bit grey, but...
So if you're overflying their property, then that does become a point where...
Right. Can you hear in the sky?
Sorry?
Can you hear in the sky? There's an airplane flying over.
Yes, there is.
So has he asked him if he can fly over his...
Just as the officer digs in with weak reasoning, a passing plane interrupts him. The auditor gestures skyward and asks, do they need a landowner's permission to fly overhead? Immediately, the officer is silent. Airspace is not private property, and legally operated aircraft or drones do not require a business's consent to traverse regulated skies. That single question highlights the absurdity of anyone claiming authority over lawful photography or flight paths, and with this sharp comparison, the auditor clearly exposes how baseless their objections were from the very beginning.
I understand what you're saying. People kind of have this thing they do own some of it.
Can your drone fly at 20,000
I think obviously if they don't want you flying over, like next to their businesses where there's information shown and things like that, I think they're polite, so politely have to stop. Obviously I appreciate you've said it's escalated. If they'd like you to stop, then just want to keep things,
But what about my thing? So what about me? I've come here to make videos and I want to make the video, so what about my thing?
Okay,
what about respect for me?
Just please not get any kind of private information involved in that.
Well, that's not on me though, that's on them. You can't... If they've left private information out...
If you do publish these videos online, can you make sure that the information is unreadable?
I'll do my best if I think it's confidential, but you can't see anything. I'm 30, 40, 50 metres up. I can't even make faces out, you know what I mean? And everybody goes mad about it.
When a company genuinely values confidentiality, it secures sensitive documents rather than leaving them in plain view. Blaming someone for filming what is already visible in public misplaces responsibility. The auditor emphasizes this by noting his drone operates 30 to 50 meters above ground, too high to capture faces or private documents. Confronted with this clear explanation, the officers retreat to what ifs and emotional arguments instead of referencing any actual legal statute. Their dependence on hypotheticals only highlights that they had no lawful reason to intervene from the start.
Do I need to? Think carefully what you're going to say next. There was one answer to this and it begins with N.
So the answer begins with?
N.
N for?
No. When I said, do I need to?
Well...
No, there's not a well, there's no buts to it. It's either a yes or a no.
It's open to interpretation. It depends, because if I feel that you've been involved in ASP, then yes you do.
ASP?
The Police Reform Act.
What's ASP?
Antisocial behaviour.
Antisocial behaviour?
Yeah.
The auditor asks directly if he must give his name, and the officer's response is astonishing. It depends. If I feel you've engaged in antisocial behavior, then yes. That phrase, if I feel, exposes the problem. Laws are based on facts and evidence, not personal feelings. Under Section 50 of the Police Reform Act 2002, an officer can request a name only when there is genuine proof of antisocial conduct, not on a whim. By hiding behind if I feel, the officer reveals how dangerously subjective and arbitrary this approach is. Law enforcement should be grounded in clear legal standards, not personal emotions.
Against you, if you arrested me for antisocial behaviour, for a man with a camera, then I think you'll be into a...
Suggesting that having a...
I will take you to court. I will take you to court for that.
I'm suggesting, however, that you've been involved in an altercation, either one side or the other, and if I decide that that constitutes antisocial behaviour, then I can require you to provide me with your name and address details.
You can, if you think I've committed a crime. But do you think I've committed a crime?
If you've been involved in ASP.
No, if you think I've committed a crime, you can ask me.
If you've been involved in ASP, that's how it works.
If you think I've committed a crime, if you think, that's right, you're thinking I've been involved in ASP, which is a crime, isn't it? So if you think I've committed a crime...
ASP isn't necessarily a crime, but one of the police powers that we have is to request the information from somebody who's been involved in ASP.
Right.
So you've been involved in an argument because you've refused to comply with somebody else's wishes. When,
feelings, please. Again, we're back to the feelings.
This exposes a dangerous misuse of antisocial behavior laws to force compliance. Simply refusing to follow someone's demand is not antisocial. It is exercising your legal rights. If refusal were a crime, Any disagreement could result in arrest, which is absurd. These laws are meant to prevent real threats, harassment, intimidation, or genuinely disruptive acts, not to punish innocent, lawful actions. By stretching vague definitions to match their discomfort, the officer demonstrates a troubling lack of training and legal understanding. Rather than protecting rights, they exploit ambiguity to justify an intervention that never had a legal basis.
It's not the feelings, please. You know that there has been a confrontation between you and somebody else.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
That to me is antisocial behaviour.
From his side, correct, yeah.
Okay. So
Go get their name and address and all
We'll
information.
be going over there in a minute.
It's not antisocial behaviour, it's
Would
rubbish.
you like just to provide your details? Obviously, you've said there's been a crime of public order because they've shouted and sworn at you. You don't want to make a complaint. Would you like to provide your details to go on the crime report?
At this time, no. If I get home and I feel that I do need to, when I watch the video back and I do feel that it was bad enough,
Can I
then
give you the incident number then? Just to
yes, please, absolutely give me the instant. Yeah,
If
definitely.
you'd like to provide your details.
Yep. So I'll write that down.
It is.
Right. But you won't be getting my name because if I did it anonymously. So if you're thinking that I'm going to do that, so you get my name.
No. It's just obviously if you want to provide your details.
What's the date
is
today?
there any particular reason you won't provide your details?
Yes, one massive one.
What's that?
I don't want to.
What would it gain by withholding your details?
What would it gain? Now, okay.
Lose you to come
Right. So let me just reverse that back. So what it would gain for you if I provide my details, that goes straight.
Spoken to.
It goes, doesn't matter though, does it? It goes straight on your intel. You put this description, my name, all my details on your intel. I don't want to be on your intel. So
Doing nothing wrong. What's the harm?
no, you can't use that. No, I have.
That's a question. I'm not using it. I'm asking you a
Well,
question.
yeah. Well, you can't say if you're doing nothing wrong, why don't you give your name? That's just rubbish, isn't it? I don't have to give my name, do I? And I don't want to. It's as simple as
That's
that.
fine, you don't want to. But what would be the harm?
I've just told you, it'll go on your intel. So it'll go against the incident, it'll go on your intel. I don't want to be on your systems, thank you. Exactly what I say about the record.
This moment exposes another troubling tactic. Officers probing for personal information even when no crime has taken place. They present data collection as harmless, but it's really about populating police databases with information on innocent people. With no legal justification, there is no obligation to comply with such demands. By highlighting this practice, the auditor demonstrates that it's not about solving crime, but about controlling individuals. Professional policing respects privacy, whereas covert data gathering undermines trust and violates rights.